Hey everybody, welcome back to Lazy Good Books. We're on chapter 8, Ronnie. This led the way to the dinner Ronnie had seen on her walk through the business direct, and Ronnie had to admit that it did have some charm, proclaiming, particularly if you were fond of the 1950s. There was an old festered counter leaked with stools. The floors were black and white, tiles and cracked red vinyl boats landed the walls behind the counter. The menu was written on a click checkboard, and as far as Ronnie could tell, the only change to it in the last 30 years had been the price. These ordered a cheeseburger with a chocolate shake and French fries. Ronnie couldn't decide and ended up ordering only a Diet Coke. She was hungry, but she wasn't exactly sure what kind of oil they used on their deep fryer. And neither, it seemed, was anyone else at the dinner. Being a vegetarian wasn't always easy, and there were times when she wanted to give up the whole thing, like when her stomach was gurgling like right now. But she wouldn't eat here. She couldn't eat here. Not because she was a vegetarian on pinnacle kind, but a physical kind of person, but but because she was vegetarian, because she didn't want to feel sick kind of person. She didn't care what other people ate. It was just there whenever she thought about where meat actually came from. She'd imagine a cow standing in a row, or Babe the pig, Bambi the pig, and she didn't feel herself getting noticed. These seemed happy too after she placed her order. She landed back on the beach. What do you think about the place? She asked. It's neat. It's kind of different. I've been coming here since I was a kid. My dad used to bring me every Sunday after church for a chocolate shake. They're the best. They get their ice cream from some tiny place in Georgia, but it's amazing. You should get one. I'm not hungry. You're lying, Beast said. I heard your stomach gurgling, but whatever it's, you're lost. But thanks for this. No big deal. Blee smiled. She wants a pen happened last night. Are you like a famous or something? Why would you say that? Because of the coat and the way he sighed. You out there had to be a reason when he made a face. I think my dad told him to go find me. He even knew where I lived. Sucks being you. When Ronnie laughed, Lise reached for the salt shaker. After tipping it over, she begins rocking salt onto the table while using a finger to mold it into a pile. What did you think of Marcus? She asked. I didn't really talk to him. Why? These seemed to choose her words carefully. Marcus never liked me, she said, growing up. I mean, I can't say that I liked him very much either. He was always kind of mean, you know, but then I don't know. A couple of years ago, things changed, and when I really needed someone, he was there for me. Ronnie watched the salt pile grow, and I just wanted you to know. Fine, she said. Whatever you do. What are you talking about? Please scraped some of the black polish from the fingernails I used to complete in gymnastics, and for maybe 4 or 5 years, it was the biggest thing in my life. I ended up getting because of my coach. He was a real... Sorry everybody, forgive me for this. He was a real hard ass. Always telling you what you did wrong. Never complimenting you what you did right. Anyway, I was doubting a new this month of the beam one day, and he marched forward, screaming at me about the paper. Why to float and how I have to freeze and everything. I'd heard him scream about a million times before I was tired of hearing it. So I said, whatever, and he grabbed my arm so hard there he left racing anyway. He says to me, do you know what you're saying when you say whatever? It's just a code word for the F word, followed by you. And at your age, you never ever say that to anyone. Please lean back. So now, when someone says it to me, I just say you too. Wait, then I watchers avoid with their food, and she placed it in front of them with an effect. Flashers. When she was gone, Ronnie reached for her soda. Thanks for the heartwarming story, whatever. Ronnie laughed again, liking her sense of humor. These led across the table. So what's the worst thing you've ever done? What? I'm serious. I always ask people that question. I find it interesting. All right. Ronnie continued. What's the worst thing you've ever done? That's easy. When I was little, I had this neighbor, Mr. Benderson. She wasn't the nicest lady, but she wasn't a witch either. I mean, it's not like she locked her doors on Halloween or anything, but she was really into her garden, and her lawn. I mean, if we ever walked across it on our way to school, but to the school bus, she comes storming out, screaming that we were running the grass away. Anyway, one spring, she planted all those flowers in her garden, hundreds of them. It was gorgeous. Well, there was this kid across the street, named Billy. And he didn't like Mrs. Berenstain much either, because one time he left. He hit a baseball and it wasn't into her backyard. And she wouldn't give it back. So one day we were poking around his garden shed and we came across the big sprinkler filled with Roundup, the weed killer. He and I snuck out after dark one night and sprayed all those new flowers. Don't ask me why. I guess at the time we thought it would be kind of funny. No big deal. Just buy some new ones. Right? You couldn't tell right away. Of course, it takes a few days before it starts working, and Mrs. Berenstain was out there every day, watering and pulling weeds before she noticed that all her new flowers had started to wilt. At first, Billy and I laughed about it. But then I started to notice she'd be out there before school trying to figure out what was wrong, and she'd still be out there when I came back from school. And by the end of the week, all of them were dead. That's terrible, Ronnie cried, giggling despite herself. I know, and I still feel bad about it. It's one of those things that I wish I could undo. Did you ever tell her or offer to replace the flowers? My parents would have killed me, but I never ever walked across her lawn again. Wow. Like I said, it's the worst thing I've ever done. Now it's your turn. Ronnie thought about it. I didn't talk to my dad for 3 years. I already knew that, and it's not that's bad. Like I said, I try not to talk to my dad either, and my mom has no idea what I am most of the time. Ronnie glanced away above the jukebox was a picture of Bill Haley and his comments. I used to shoplift. She said, suburb a lot, nothing big, just more for the thrill of doing it. Used to, not anymore. I guess anymore. I got caught. Actually, I got caught twice, but the second time it was a accident. It went to court, but the charges were continued for a year, basically. It must that if I didn't get in trouble again, the charges will be dismissed. Please lower her burger. That's it. That's the worst thing you've ever done. I never killed someone's flowers, if that's what you mean, or vandalized anything. You've never stuck your brother's hand in the toilet, or crushed the car, or shoved the car, or something. Ronnie gave a small smile. No. You're probably the most boring teenager in the world. Ronnie giggled again before taking a sip of her soda. Can I ask you a question? Go ahead. Why didn't you go home last night? Lise took a punch of the salt she'd piled up, sprinkled it over her fries. I didn't want to. What about your mom? Doesn't she get mad? Papa Lise said, off to the side of the door, to the dinner swing open, and Ronnie turned to see Marcus, Teddy, and Lane's handling toward their boat. Marcus wore a t-shirt and bristled with a skill, and a chin was attached to the belt loop of his jeans. These screeched over the surface. Teddy took a seat beside her. William Marcus grilled in next to Ronnie as Lanes pulled up a chair from a adjusting table and flipped it around before sitting. Marcus reached for Lisa's plate. Both Teddy and Lanes attentively grabbed for the fries. Hey, that's for Bliss. That's for Bliss, Ronnie cried, trying to stop them. Get your own, Marcus turned from one to the other. Yeah. It's okay, Bliss said, punching the plate toward him. Really, I won't be able to eat it all anyway. Marcus reached for the ketchup across as through he provided his point. So what are you two talking about? From the window, if looking intense. Nothing, Bliss said. Let me guess. She's telling you about her mom's sexy boyfriend and their late night trapeze acts, right? Bliss wriggled in her seat. Don't be gross, Marcus. Give Ronnie a freak stare. Did she tell you about the night one of her mom's boyfriends came sneaking into her room? She was like, you've got 15 minutes to get the hell out of here. Shut up, okay? That's not funny. And we weren't talking about him. Whatever, he said, smirking. Bliss reached for her shake, and Marcus began eating the burger. Teddy and Lanes grabbed more fries, and over the next few minutes, the three of them devoured most of what was on the plate, to Ronnie's dismay. Bliss said nothing, and Ronnie wondered about that. Or actually, she didn't wonder. It seemed obvious that these didn't want Marcus to get mad at her. So she let him do whatever he wanted. She'd seen it before. Kayla, for all her tough posturing, was the same way. When it came to guys and gentlemen, they trusted her like dirt, but she wouldn't say that here. She knew it would only make things worse. Lise slipped her milkshake and put it back on the table. So what do you guys want to do after this? We're out, Teddy. We're out, Teddy ground. Our old man needs me and things to work today. They're brothers, please, explained Ronnie. Student them not seeing the recipients. You are Marcus finished the burger and pushed the plate to the crust of the table. I know it's hard to believe parents could have two such ugly kids, huh? Anyway, their family owns the piece of crab until just over the bridge. The Pips are like 100 years old, and Teddy's job is to plan the Pips are like 100 years old, and Teddy's job is to pudgy the turtles. When they got clogged, Ronnie worked with her new, trying to imagine it. Wiley Marcus nodded. Grows. Huh. But don't worry about Teddy. He's great at it. A real philosophy. He actually enjoys it. And nice here. His job is to clean the sheets after the no-time crowd rolls through you. Ronnie said, I know it's totally discounting this, added, and you should see some of the people that go for the Harley race. You could catch a desire just walking into the room. Ronnie wasn't sure how to respond to that. She turned to Marcus. So, what do you do? She asked. Whatever I wanted to. Whatever I want, he answered, which means Ronnie challenged. Why do you care? I don't, she said, keeping her voice cool. I was just asking. Teddy grabbed the last of the fries from Lisa's plate. It means he hangs out at the motel with us in his room. You have a room at the motel? I live there, he said. I observed, question was why, and she wanted for more, but Marcus stayed quiet. She suspected he wanted her to attempt to tease the information out of him. Maybe she was reading too much into it. But she had a sudden sense that he wanted her to be interested in him. Wanted her to like him even through these was right there. Her suspicions were confirmed when he reached for a cigarette after he lived it, he though the smoke toward these, then turned to Ronnie. Shifted. What are you doing tonight? He asked. Ronnie shifted in her seat, suddenly uncomfortable. It seemed like everyone, these included, was waiting for her answer. Why? We are having a little get together at Bower's Point. Not just us. A bunch of people. I was you to come without the cops this time. They started the temp talk, trying with the police of assault when Ronnie didn't answer. Marcus rose from the table and headed for the door without turning back. Take your account of Booktuber. Next week we're going to be on Chapter 9, Steve. I hope you guys enjoyed Chapter 8. Like I said, sorry again for the swear words on that. But if you're new, welcome in. And I'm sure you love all the video source on my AI Live. Thanks. Instagram, and all the shorts from Instagram, Book Talk, and enjoying the dance shorts as well. I'm going to be doing a dance short after this is going to be going up. Thank you to come to Lacey Books. Hope you had a lot of fun here. Comment, like, share all you want. Click the notification bell. Click the red subscribe button, then click the notification bell for all the updates. If you're new to Booktube, welcome aboard. I just started another book channel with my best up friend, and it's called the Book Besties. Please check that out. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys in the next chapter. Peace out, everybody.